On this episode of CCU TV, check in with some of our seniors as they approach graduation.
Hear an exclusive behind-the-scenes interview with our new softball coach.
And get to know Donald Trump's new Supreme Court appointee.
Hey Googers, I'm Nate Valdez.
And I'm Ellen Densmore. Welcome to CCU TV.
The semester is rolling along, full steam ahead. And with graduation coming up very soon, seniors are anxiously preparing to walk across the stage. Seniors have already turned in their graduation applications and are anxious to receive their diplomas as many of their family and friends congratulate them on their journey through college. The thought of a future after college fill the minds of all the seniors. Whether it's moving into their field of work, continuing on to grad school, or maybe something new, here are two seniors that can give you an inside look on what is happening in their lives now.
I'm really excited to be graduating soon. It's been a great time here at CCU, but I'm looking forward to the next things that God has for me. Right now I'm thinking about, I'm going to be applying to law school, seeing if I can start taking that walk in life and see how I can impact that culture for Christ.
Yeah, it's a lot, kind of mixed emotions. I'm really excited for what the next chapter looks like for me, but it's a sad thing to have this chapter coming to an end as well.
I transferred into my junior year, and it's definitely been the best 2 years of my life. I've learned so much stuff while I've been here. It's been a very valuable experience to my life, and the friends that I've made while I've been here have really pushed me on to strive for more in my life.
I think the most I've learned has come from other people, just in regards to the Christian faith and what that looks like, spiritual formation and relationships and all of those things. Of course, I've learned so much in the classroom as well, but I think what I've taken away from the relationships that I've had here will stay with me for the rest of my life. After graduation, I plan on getting my master's degree in counseling. Right now, I've been accepted to Denver Seminary and CCU's grad program. I'm not sure which one I'll go to yet, but that's the plan as of now.
We want to wish all our seniors the best of luck. You will be missed. Remember, once a Cougar, always a Cougar.
As we bid farewell to our senior class, a new class of freshmen is gearing up to change CCU. The 3-to-1 ratio of girls to guys will likely become less drastic in the fall with the implementation of a new engineering program. Here's Hannah with some details on the program.
On January 25th, CCU announced its approval from the Higher Learning Commission to finally approve the bachelor's degree in industrial engineering.
As an ever-growing demand for engineers across the country, and specifically in Colorado, continues, CCU's decision to offer an engineering degree was inevitable. The program will include an intensive curriculum with real-world projects and 121 credits in 8 semesters. It will be the first industrial engineering program in the Denver metro area and will also be the only engineering program offered by a Christian university in the Rocky Mountain region.
So my role has been from the beginning working with President Armstrong and his vision, along with Jim McCormick and Dr. Mark Parker, to translate how to get all the rigor of an academic engineering program into a program that fits the core curriculum of Colorado Christian University, which itself was a major challenge.
While there is excitement about the new program, there is also genuine concern for its success as it attempts to compete with neighboring engineering schools such as Colorado School of Mines.
First of all, for Christian schools offering a degree in engineering, there's not one for 500 miles around here, so we dominate the region from that standpoint. And we've carefully chosen the majors, starting with industrial engineering, mechanical engineering, and then civil engineering as it rolls out over time. These are portable degrees. These are the degrees that will get you into a foreign country. And so if your goal is to work overseas as a Christian, being salt and light, civil engineering, water resource engineering, this is exactly the degree that will serve you well.
The engineering program is a prime example of the bright future CCU has ahead for its students and faculty. I'm Hannah in Lakewood, CCU TV.
What an exciting opportunity for prospective CCU students. The engineering program will begin in the fall of the 2017-18 school year. But the engineering program isn't the only new major to hit the books at CCU this year.
That's right. Dust off your hiking boots and get ready to hit the trails. CCU will be unveiling the long-awaited outdoor leadership major. The program will consist of basic outdoor skills, a wilderness first responder certification, and various other vigorous courses. The outdoor leadership is set to begin in the fall of 2017.
This past fall semester brought in the largest class CCU has seen yet. Along with the class of 2020 came some new professors. Emily sat down with one of our female business professors, Dr. Jenna Ellis.
Dr. Ellis has taken on the legal studies program, some comm classes, and she continues to practice law outside CCU to advocate for faith and freedom.
I'm a practicing attorney specializing in constitutional law and criminal defense, and I had the opportunity to meet with former President Bill Armstrong and talk to him about designing a moot court team. So I've actually redeveloped and newly designed 6 new classes for the university, which will prepare students not only to go into law school, understand the law school admissions test, that whole process, but then also to be able to understand what is law and how does that apply to our business, our future, and then also what role does law play in our understanding of who God is and the reality to which we're presented.
Dr. Ellis adds more beauty and brains to School of Business, and CCU is lucky to have this professor on staff. I'm Emily Carl, Lakewood, Colorado.
Many thanks to Jenna for her wonderful contributions to CCU.
The English department held a weekend retreat February 9th and 10th. Here's Brian to tell us more about it.
The English department brought in Dr. Richard Foster, author of Celebration of Discipline, to speak at the retreat.
And so I loved it, and I loved him as a person, and he's a fantastic writer and read us a piece that is not even out yet, so that was really cool. I'll read you some of the things that he said that I thought were especially just really stood out to me. He said, Jesus, of course, is the divine paradigm of which we conjugate all the words of our living, which I thought was just profound. I got a chance to write a little bit beforehand. We got to kind of talk about our impressions of the writer and what he'd be like.
After the students heard and got tips from the author, they got a chance to tour the grounds and work on their writing.
We had about a whole day until 7 to write, just free with like meals in between. And they did like tours around the house because it was this big like compound that they were staying on. So they did that, and then they had periods that they would write in between with no physical contact, like no one around them, pretty much. So it's kind of like a solitude day. I think there's definitely a chance that they'll have another one. I think they want to do it annually.
The event was a great time for students to focus on their writing. This has been Brian Rouse in Lakewood for CCU TV.
This looks like a great event for students. For more information on future writing retreats, talk to an English professor for more details.
We are already drowning in projects and papers this early in the semester. Here are some tips to help you stay afloat of all of it. How and where we study both play important roles in how we learn and retain information. Researchers have found that the attitude you approach studying with matters almost as much as what you study. Being in the right mindset is important in order to study smarter. Where you settle in to hit the books is crucial to your success. The library, a nook in Leprino Hall, or a quiet coffee house are good places to check out. Don't bring along things that could hinder your concentration. For instance, while it may seem ideal to type your notes into a computer, remember that computers can be a powerful distraction. Playing games, checking social media, instant messaging, and answering emails are all wonderful distractions that have nothing to do with studying. So, ask yourself whether you really need it before you bring it. For more study tips, visit educationcorner.com. Good luck this semester, Cougars.
In keeping with all the changes happening all over CCU, Veritas, the beloved CCU publication that is released twice each semester, has recently undergone a major change. Here's Andrew Detmer with the story.
As many students may have noticed, Veritas, the CCU publication that was once a newspaper filled with stories about CCU events, has recently undergone a massive facelift into the magazine-style publication. I sat down with staff advisor Kimberly Britt to get the scoop on the change of format.
So actually one of my students had come up to me and presented the idea of, hey, how about we try out a magazine? Have you ever thought about doing a magazine instead of the newspaper? And I started thinking, because I was teaching journalism at the time, and we were talking a lot about how it's important to tailor your medium to your audience, and we were thinking, well, that would give us a way to incorporate like digital design and photography. So just visually it was more appealing to do a magazine. It also gave us a lot more freedom in the kind of articles that we could run. They weren't just the current news stories, but we could do things that were a little more timeless, which was really important given our small staff. So it just really fit well with the university.
When asked what she envisions the future of Veritas will look like, Britt had this to say.
My vision is that we could start kind of converging with all of CCU media and have it kind of under this umbrella of CCU media with CCU TV and with Veritas magazine, and also we're going to start up some radio. So I'd like us to all be able to work together and to help each other. So the next step that I'd really like us to see is to start a CCU media online magazine, so we could use CCU News or CCU TV's video, we could have Veritas writers on there, and we're all just kind of networking and helping each other. I'd love us to build up a larger staff, so the more people know about Veritas magazine, the more people that are going to come and work on our staff, so that we'll have more ideas and more of that creative body to pull from.
If any students have any articles they wish to submit for the magazine, they may do so at this address. I'm Andrew Detmer in Lakewood, CCU TV.
CCU's theater department performed Oklahoma for their spring musical between February 9th and 12th at the Lakewood Cultural Center due to its ability to attract more audience members. Rehearsals began right before Christmas break as students tirelessly worked to perfect each lyric and stage direction.
Push a cloud, yeah, they're like two chicks and cow. That's no reason why they can't be free.
They produced a flawless performance.
It can be a really long week. However, this is a new experience for pretty much all of us. This is how they would do it professionally, is they do all the rehearsals and all the prep in 6 weeks, and then they put the show on. That's how Broadway does it. So for us, it's been really crazy busy just because we've had rehearsals 4 nights a week for 4 hours at a time, or we had to come early. We had to come back to school early during winter term, and there was one day we did just music in the morning, and then we have a 5-hour dance rehearsal and 1 3-minute break.
The cast's hard work paid off as the show proved to be a success, with all 5 shows being sold out for the first time in the theater department's history. Dr. Sweeting attended the show, and he told me he was very impressed, just blown away, so to speak. Well done, School of Music.
But good music and impressive dance moves aren't limited to the spring musical. On Thursday, February 9th, CCU students gathered at the Denver Art Museum to dance the night away. Attire was formal, and everyone was looking pretty spiffy. Students enjoyed a live DJ, photo booth, free food and drinks, and even some crowd surfing. Shout out to the guys from the Shire Stairwell who came dressed to impress with their Hawaiian shirts and Cali dance moves. What a night! Once again, the CCU dance didn't fail to disappoint.
CCU's campus redevelopment project hasn't been disappointing either. Our favorite hangout spot and on-campus convenience store, the Cougar Den, is being relocated after many years of consistent student use. The old Cougar Den and Student Union building are being torn down to make room for the new Anschutz Student Center. This new building is set to be one of the biggest changes to CCU's campus since the opening of Leprino Hall. Upon completion, it will boast a substantial 55,000 square feet of space for students to eat, play, study, and work out. Additionally, it will act as an overflow for the cafeteria during high traffic days. Building officials project an early summer 2017 opening for the new student center. In the meantime, don't worry. The Cougar Den and Student Union building will be temporarily moving their services into the cafeteria annex to accommodate all your food and fun needs. Be sure to say farewell to the old Student Union this week before deconstruction. And don't forget to check out the new Student Center next semester.
CCU has welcomed a new head softball coach to the family, and we are so lucky to have him. Shannon Hayes is from Lubbock, Texas, and he has coached several sports, including softball and basketball for many years. The girls started off their season down in Lubbock, Texas, with Coach Hayes playing at his former college. They got to see him in his home environment and meet his wonderful family while there. Coach Hayes has worked so hard already in the first few weeks. What a great coach to have for our softball team. Now we will head over to Studio B for our sports update with Haley Novacek.
Hey Cougars! The beginning of the semester is looking great. We have some sports updates here to take a look at. The baseball team will be in Goodwill, Oklahoma, playing Oklahoma Panhandle State University on February 24th and 25th. There are live stats on the CCU Athletics webpage, so take a look and see how they are doing. The women's softball team will be in Las Vegas, New Mexico, playing New Mexico Highlands University on February 25th and 26th. Wish them luck as they continue in their season. Our men's basketball team has some home games coming up for you to come to and support. They will be playing at the CCU Event Center on February 24th against Metro State at 7 p.m. and will be playing against UCCS at 7 p.m. on February 25th. Women's basketball will be playing at CCU Event Center on February 24th against Metro State at 5 p.m. and against UCCS on February 25th at 5 p.m. as well. There's a lot going on here in Lakewood on the 24th, and we have some men's and women's tennis playing at Meadow Creek Tennis Club against Colorado College. Our track and field men and women will be in Spearfish, South Dakota in the RMAC tournament on February 24th and 25th. Cheer them on from afar. That's it for today's sports update. Good luck to all those athletes as they continue in their spring season. I'm Haley Novacek, and this has been your Cougar Sports Update.
Those athletes sure are busy. Keep up the good work, Cougars. On Friday, February 10th, CCU's Political Science Department had a surprise guest. Charles Murray, an international acclaimed sociologist and political scientist, met with students and professors to discuss the future of the USA. Students asked questions regarding his latest book, Coming Apart, and also discussed concepts like artificial intelligence, Donald Trump, and a universal basic income. What a privilege to sit and dine with prominent speakers like Mr. Murray. CCU sure does attract elite speakers.
We sure do. Thanks to the legacy of Bill Armstrong and the leadership of John Andrews, and now the work of Jeff Hunt and Dr. Sweeting, CCU really does have a presence in the political world. On that note, it's time for something political. With Scalia's death, America began to realize that the court could change drastically in the next few years. We have an aging bench, with Justices Ginsburg, Kennedy, and Breyer aged 83, 80, and 78, respectively. Scalia was 79. Because the next president would make at least one, and likely up to 4 Supreme Court appointments, the 2016 election would determine the political trend of the country for not just the next 4 or 8 years, but the next 30 to 40. A wrong move there could be irreversible. In May of last year, Donald Trump released a list of potential Supreme Court appointees based on conservative principles and with input from highly respected conservative and Republican leaders. In response, it seems, evangelicals decided to board the Trump train, or at least the Supreme Court car of the Trump train, and ride it into 2017. Like Justice Scalia, Judge Gorsuch is a prolific writer, but his courteous tone differs from Scalia's often sharp, biting dissents. If Gorsuch is confirmed by the Senate, the court will return to a familiar dynamic with 4 consistent conservative votes, 4 consistent liberal votes, and the consistently inconsistent Kennedy holding the decisive vote in closely divided cases. Meanwhile, the fireworks continue as the Senate proceeds with hearings on Trump's cabinet appointments. But that's another story for another time. For now, I'm Ellen Densmore with CCU TV. This is Something Political. Visit our YouTube channel for my full segment, including an overview of the political leanings of the current court.
In celebration of Black History Month, Tammy paid a visit to the Stiles African American Heritage Center to learn about Denver's historical African American community.
The Stiles African American Heritage Center was founded in 1992 and is located in Five Points, the heart of Denver's historic African American community. Their vision is to create a heritage center where African American history is celebrated 365 days a year. If you're a regular museum goer and you like learning about the history of Denver, this is the next hotspot you should check out.
Hello CCU Cougars and happy Black History Month. Unfortunately, the Stiles African American Heritage Center is closed for renovation, but will be reopening within the next few months.
whether you can believe it or not, and I sure can't, we're already a 10th of the way through 2017. And that means we're also a 10th of the way towards completing our New Year's resolutions.
Every year, millions of Americans make New Year's resolutions throughout the country. Making them is the easy part, but proving them tends to be much more difficult.
We came back from Christmas break, and one of my roommates, Gabe Keller, was flossing. And we asked him how often he flossed, and he said he flossed every single day. And I hadn't flossed in over a month. Nick hadn't flossed in over a month. And so we decided as a group, as a group of roommates, that we were going to start flossing every night together.
Some of us have been more efficient at it than others, you know. For some people, they've really seen the results, and for other people, they continue to bleed, and so they question, why is this even worth it anymore?
So I did make a New Year's resolution. This year, I decided to, instead of focusing on like one goal of wanting to like work out more or something like that, I decided to come up with a spiritual goal that I wanted to set. And so going into this year, as I was listening to God, I really felt like he was saying, Katie, do you trust me? Like, what does that look like? And last year I had learned so much about his faithfulness and his goodness and really just who God is. And so now I felt like he was asking, Katie, do you trust me? Like, now that you know all these things about me, do you trust me? And stepping back and realizing, wow, like this is a God I can trust.
New Year's resolutions are a fantastic way to form new habits and practice the spiritual discipline of tenacity, and CCU students are no exception. I'm Kyle Corin in Lakewood, CCU TV.
It seems that there are quite a lot of students on campus that have taken up the pursuit of new habits this year. We wish all of you luck in remaining persistent. And now, let's get up to date with Nate.
Well, thanks, Ellen. Hey, Cougars. Welcome to the Entertainment Up to Date with me. Today's segment is over getting out of the CCU bubble and getting out to enjoy life. With Valentine's Day coming up, Ellen, I got you some flowers.
Aw, thanks!
We're going to talk about hot spots to go in Denver, whether it's for a date or just out with friends. First recommendation, everyone loves food. Heck, everyone loves biscuits. Take her downtown to Denver Biscuit Company, where you can indulge in homemade biscuit-based sandwiches. They are open 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., which takes the pressure off taking a girl out to dinner. It's just breakfast. You won't regret this choice. It is only 7 minutes away. Now let's not forget that girls love a guy that can dance. And not to worry, guys with 2 left feet, you know who I mean. At the Grizzly Rose, they teach you the steps before the dance starts. Show up at 7 p.m. to learn line dancing and or two-stepping. It's just 13 minutes from campus. Get out and go dancing. If you don't want to dance, they have a mechanical bull as well. Okay, so maybe you're a guy looking for something romantic. Let's say a night out on town in Italy. Well, if you're in Colorado, I recommend Odyssey Italian Restaurant in downtown Denver. You get a cozy neighborhood Italian setting, candlelit tables, sidewalk seats, and amazing pastas to choose from. Talk about ring by spring. Lastly, no, I'm not going to mention about going to a museum. This is something that some people never attempt. You ready? I recommend no Netflix. You'll need to get out and see the city. On a college student budget, I know I am. That's fine too. I recommend going to the YMCA of the Rockies Snow Mountain Ranch to get an all-day pass for only $20 per person. It includes all their activities, snow tubing, and ice skating. On the way back down, stop at Bojo's Pizza. All of the equals of a perfect day. Stay tuned for some more entertainment in our next segment. Until then, stay classy, CCU. Back to you, Ellen.
Thanks for the flowers, Nate. Part of your CCU TV team will be in Florida next week to compete at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention in Orlando. That means our next broadcast will be released a week later than normal, on March 14th instead of March 7th. We'll have behind-the-scenes footage of the convention, so keep an eye out for great new content right before spring break. In the meantime, be sure and follow us. We're on all social media, including Snapchat and Instagram.
That's all for now, Cougars.
Stay single.